So I just got off live and I was going to go to bed, but I got on Instagram and I saw a video of this couple. This guy just proposed to his girlfriend, and I was like thinking on like how sweet the proposal was. And I actually felt like I was supposed to get up here and share with you guys kind of my take on this whole situation. So years ago, when I was going to this church with this couple, so this was back in, I guess, 2021. One day when I was exiting the church, I just felt really led to tell the guy. I looked at him and I said, I know who you're marrying. And he was like, who? And I was like, you're gonna marry her. And it was just like the Holy Spirit just dropped this like knowledge into my mind. And to so much so it was like bubbling over, and I just felt like sharing with him because I had the faith, and the Lord had already shown me like in the spirit like what he was going to do. And so I shared it with him, and I remember in that moment him saying like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know, because this couple had previously dated, but it didn't work out, and it didn't seem like at that time he was like moved on, like we tried, that's not gonna happen. And I think at that time, which by the way, when I shared that information with him, I had no idea they had dated before, like, because I was new to the church. Anyways, well, I also told the girl, and I had apparently shared with the girl, like, you're gonna marry him. Well, I forgot I said that. When I went home one of the last times to visit, they had just started dating again. And I looked at her and I was like, I'm so excited for y'all. Like, I've just known y'all were gonna get married. And she was like, it's so funny because like we didn't know. She was like we had been apart for, a while, like 4 or 5 years or something. But she said, I'll never forget when you came to me. I guess it was like at the front of the church or something. And she was like, you told me I was gonna marry him. She said, you had no idea, but in that place I was so weary in the wait. She said, I always felt he was my husband. She said, but I had a really hard time believing it because we had been broken up for so long. And she was like, he seemed so uninterested in me, which he was not paying attention. Like, he was totally in his own lane at that time, from what I gathered. So like her feelings were probably very valid in that moment, but she was having to hold on to faith. And then in that moment of weariness, like when that weariness set in, is when the Lord had prompted me to share with her, like, you're gonna marry him. And so it's interesting because years later, when they start dating again and I go back home and visit, and she shares this with me, like, you had no idea, but I was in such a weary place and you said this to me. She said it meant so much to me. She said, because I needed that. Like, I had to hold on to your faith in that moment, like for my breakthrough. And of course that was back in 2021, and now we're in 2025, but it's that couple that just got engaged. And I was just looking at them and thinking, gosh, I'm so excited for them. I'm so happy for them. I can't believe it's actually happening. And I just felt like the Lord was like, partner with that faith. Like, the faith that you had for them, believe it for yourself. And I want to share that with those of you that are single today, and you're just waiting on your spouse, and you're like, where in the world is he or she, and what's happening? Like, God has such a plan, and he's got a purpose, and he hasn't overlooked you. He hasn't forgotten about you. He hasn't just said, oh, like, I will tend to them later when I feel like it. Like, no, he's very much got you on the forefront of his mind. And so just as the Lord revealed that information to me to encourage them in a time and place that they needed it, I really hope that this can encourage you that, like, your waiting is not wasted, and your waiting has purpose, not only in it, but also like for the breakthrough. And so I just pray that you can partner with my faith today, and just remember that that God sits on the throne and that he hasn't forgotten you, and that your breakthrough's coming soon. Just like I believe my breakthrough's coming soon. I believe, we're in a time and a season where God is just like doing so much. I mean, we see it everywhere, like in the world. God is just doing so much. And I know I want to be on board with it. I want to be ready for it. And yeah, so in the waiting, like as hard as it is, because it's hard and I know I'm there, just remember that he loves you and he's not forgotten you, and he's remembered you. He has remembered you.